Hi everybody, it's Stuart from Balance Health. At the end of my classes, whether I'm teaching Tai Chi, Qi Gong, or the yoga classes, I like to finish with meditation. So in the yoga world, at the end of a yoga class, I sit in kind of yogi's traditional silent meditation. At the end of the Qi Gong class, I like to finish the class with an energy blessing, and very similar to the chakra blessing, or in the Tai Chi and Qi Gong world, we'll call them Dantiens. At the end of the Tai Chi class, though, I like to do a healing meditation, a guided healing meditation. So this is going to be one of those. So I'm going to do a guided healing meditation. So if you're ready, I want you to find a comfortable seated position. Some people like to lay down when they do this. Others even actually like to stand and do a standing meditation. All of that is fine. Finding a comfortable position that you can be in for 10 to 15 minutes, right? So if you're seated, you want your sit bone, tailbone down, crown of the head floating up, shoulders relaxed. You could use a mudra, chin mudra, karana mudra, the famous Buddha mudra, dhyana mudra, if you wish. You don't have to, though. You do want a relatively vertical line through the spine. For those of you laying down, again, comfortable position with a relatively straight spine and a position you could be in for a while. For those standing, same thing, vertical alignment through the spine. I like to feel the crown up and the sit bone, tailbone down. If you are comfortable closing your eyes, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes now. And we now want to allow the body to start to relax. We're going to relax the eyes, the nose, the mouth, even the jaw and teeth want to relax. Relax the neck and shoulders. Relax the arms, upper arm, elbows, wrist, even the fingers want to relax. Allow your spinal column to relax. Upper spine, mid-spine, lower spine. Feel the chest and rib cage relax. The torso of the body, the core of the body, the Dantien and Qi want to relax. Even the glutes and sacral area. So the core of the body wants to relax. Relax your thighs, knees, calves, even your ankles and feet. So all parts of your legs get to relax. Allow the whole body to come into a deep level of relaxation. And if you can now, notice your breath in and out of your nose. Now I do realize some people have allergies. I'd rather you breathe than pass out. So if you have to breathe through your mouth, it's okay. But most often, Tai Chi, Qi Gong, yoga worlds, we breathe through the nose. So notice your breath in and out of your nose. Notice your breath into your heart and lungs. Very importantly, notice the breath down into the core of your body, into your Dantien. Maybe even feel it expand and contract with your breath. Now I want you to imagine that you could take your breath and filter it through your whole body, as if you could bathe the cells of your body with your breath. So filter that breath through your whole body, like you could bathe the cells of your body with your breath, preferably in and out of the nose. Now I'm going to use the words divine energy. You can change those words to God or Jesus or Buddha. If you're a fellow Jedi, you can call it the Force. But I'm going to use the words divine energy. I want you to picture this divine energy about 1 foot to 1.5 feet above the crown of your head. Some people, it helps them by picturing it as this beautiful golden liquid. Other people like to picture like a beautiful light. Either way is fine. I want you to picture this divine energy above the crown of your head. And allow that divine energy to pour down through the crown into every single cell of your brain, including the eyes, the nose, the mouth, even the ears and the back of the head. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Pouring even more divine energy down into the neck and throat area. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish all of those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Pouring even more divine energy down into the shoulders and arms, even the elbows, wrists, even your fingers. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Pouring even more divine energy down through the spinal column, the whole spine, all those beautiful vertebrae, upper spine, mid-spine, lower spine. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish all of those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Pouring even more divine energy down into your internal organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, all your internal organs. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish all of those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Pouring even more divine energy down into the core of the body, the Dantien and Qi, your hip sockets, your glutes, your sacral, the whole core of the body. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish all of those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Pouring even more divine energy down into the legs, the thighs, the knees, the calves, even your ankles and feet, even the toes. Allow the divine energy to fill those cells. Allow the divine energy to cleanse. Allow the divine energy to heal. Allow the divine energy to nourish all of those cells. Cleansing, healing, nourishing. Now do an internal scan of your own body. Is there anywhere in your body that you're holding any physical, mental, or emotional blocks? Go ahead and send more energy to those areas. You could even think of sending your breath there to further cleanse, to further heal, to further nourish. Notice your breath in and out of your nose. Notice how you feel. If it's peaceful or calm or centered, see if you can take that throughout your day. Slowly come back to your body. Maybe wiggle fingers and toes or gentle stretching. Take your time. Very importantly, after this, make sure to drink some good, clean water. And I look forward to seeing you in some classes. Have a beautiful day, everybody.